What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Dan here, and it is time for my favorite time of the year. We are jumping into our year-end content, and starting things off, we are jumping into my top 5 best games of 2019. Now what this is just a list of games that I felt were deserving of the best games. The top 5. Now from what it has to be, the criteria has to be that I have had to have played them, whether it be here on YouTube or over on live stream to make the countdown. Now there might be games that are deserving on the list, and if you don't see them, it doesn't mean they weren't, they should have been on this or they shouldn't have been on this list. It has to be games that I've played. If I haven't played them, I can't give my fair opinion on them, and I can't really say if they deserve to be a top 5 or whatever the case would be. So if there's some game that you see on here, they're like, wow, that game did phenomenally in ratings, but why isn't it on your countdown? I mustn't have played it. That's really about it mostly. So anyway, guys, sit back, relax, and take a look at my top 5 best games of 2019. Kicking things off at number 5 on my countdown, we have Death Stranding. Now, I know this one's going to be a bit of a controversial pick, but hear me out for a second. Now, this game, I didn't even actually play it here on YouTube. I played it over on my Facebook live stream. And originally, I wasn't even going to touch it because I've heard mixed reviews about it. I heard the gameplay was not worth the story, and that really frightened me because this was something I was looking forward to. Kojima's first official project, since he last left Konami, and I was just so anticipating something. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna get, but I had to try it. So I said, screw it, ignore it, let's give it a shot, and man, am I glad I did. Now, yes, the gameplay is a bit repetitive, and it does take quite some time in between story bits, but when you get there, it is the most unique and interesting and fulfilling experience you will ever have. And hell, even on live stream, I started to have a hell of a lot of fun even with the gameplay. The walking simulator that people dubbed it, I started making fun of it and having fun with it and doing cool things to make it interesting and making jokes about it, and it just made the experience that much better. If you're the kind of person who loves a great story and you can deal with a bit of repetitive gameplay, this is the game for you. Kojima at his finest. Coming in at number 4 on my countdown, we have Metro Exodus. Now, I really love the Metro franchise for a few reasons in particular. Number 1, it's always been a visual treat. It's just looking at the graphics and the sound, it's just amazing to experience. Number 2, the story is always phenomenal. With the latest installment, this is no exception. I absolutely loved this version of the story. However, this time they took a slightly different turn with level design, and I thought it was a welcome change. It still feels very much like Metro. The constant dread, the worry about, running out of ammo or not having enough health for an area, but you don't really know until it's too late sometimes. That's Metro. But what's great about it is they made it so more people can get into it easier. And not only that, the story alone is enough to stick around for the entire ride. You just love the gameplay. I love the style. I love the environment. It's just such an experience, and I think everyone needs to give this game a shot. You know what, man? Just play every game in the Metro franchise. You guys will love it for sure. But this one I think is one of my favorites out of all the Metro games, and I think that it's just such a good all-rounder, which is why it comes in at number 4 on my countdown. Coming in at number 3 on the countdown, we have Days Gone. Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering, why is Days Gone so high up on this one? A lot of people honestly didn't like this game that much. They expected a lot more from it, and it ended up, to most people, feeling like kind of a clunky, zombie game, like we were familiar with. But you know what? I don't think this game got its fair shake. I think if it had a bit more time, this could have been one of the best zombie games ever made. I understand people's concerns, but it was, in terms of enjoyment, one of my favorite games of the year, which is why it actually is so far up on the list. There's a lot of replay value. There's a lot of content to be had here, whether it be customizing your stuff, going out there and finding new weapons, meeting new people, working for different camps, choosing who to send different survivors to like build rapport with different camps. And it's just such a good story. You gotta love the characters, and you gotta love the actors too. Some of my favorite actors, they did such great jobs, and I just think that, oh man, it just sucks because I think this could have been one of the best games of the decade, and I just know it could have been higher. I still love the hell out of it. Played so much of it. I can't tell you how long I played this game. I basically did everything you possibly could, minus all the collectibles. And when I do that, it's a game I thoroughly enjoy. And I think most people aren't going to give this one a shot. I think you should give it a shot. Despite the average review being kind of higher than a normal, higher than average, I think it's much better than that. And that's why it comes in at number 3 for me. Coming in at number 2 on the countdown, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this was a tough one. These top 2 I had a hard time choosing between because I loved them so much. However, after looking at the bigger picture, I threw this one in number 2. Now, a Star Wars game from EA that was a single player only experience. Sign me up. I'm sick of the mentality that EA had where everything had to be online. They even said single player games are dead, and I think this is one of their most successful Star Wars games to date. In terms of ratings, I think this game was so amazing, but they weren't sure with it. They were testing the waters and they held back. This game was so much fun. I basically 100%ed the entire game. I played my own Let's Play on YouTube, and then I replayed it on stream to get everything. I tried different difficulty settings. I tried a bunch of things. I just wish there were a couple things that probably would have given it Game of the Year, but it just can't get to that high shelf. You know, the cookie jar remains safe. But it's just, oh god, the gameplay, the story, you love the characters, you love the environments, it's just so fluid and it's not overly complicated. I wish it was a little bit more complicated with the saber, you know, a little more, you know, more moves and things like that, which is why there's a few things, they played it safe and I just wish they didn't. I wish they just went all out, and it could have been the best game of the year in my opinion, but it's gonna be the runner-up. It's still one of the best Star Wars games EA has made in a long time. EA makes stuff like this some more. We want to see this kind of stuff. Guys, if you haven't picked it up, you're a Star Wars fan, grab it. It is definitely worth your time. Ignore the EA cheese and just do yourself a favor and play this one. You won't be disappointed. And finally, the number 1 game for me in 2019 was Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, I know this is kind of interesting because this game is obviously not technically brand new, but then again it is. A lot of people need to understand the difference between a remake and a remaster. Now, what is so brilliant about this is they completely ground up rebuilt one of the best Resident Evil games ever made and turned it into something modern, turned it into something that people who weren't able to experience the game in its original form, and give them a transition so they can actually play one of the classics, but in a kind of familiar setting, something you're very familiar with and you can deal with. And man, oh god, I played this game so many times. I played this game this year so many times. I did my own Let's Play, then I went back, did it for stream, and I spent days and days and days on it. And it is, like I said, one of my favorite Resident Evil games. Why is this one higher than Star Wars? Well, let me tell you, it's a damn near perfect game. You cannot beat something this good. And it's a remake, but it didn't feel like you were playing the same game. It really didn't. The story was there. If you play the original, you know where you're going to go. Obviously, there's still that feel of familiarity and comfort, so you're not really out of your element here. But it's like replaying a classic all over again. And if more developers did this, man, would I ever be happy, because there's only so many times you could replay your favorites, but it's nice when you see your favorites done the justice and done in such a matter as this. Like, it doesn't happen. And this is why I'm so excited that they also announced they're doing Resident Evil 3 this coming year in 2020. We're going to get another remake, but this time of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that. So guys, because it was just so well done and it's just such a awesome modern take on a classic, this game is my number 1 game of 2019. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. My top 5 best games of 2019. What did you guys think of the list? Did you agree with it? Would you trade something out? Would you put something in? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Also, I want to thank everybody so much for watching my Let's Plays this year in 2019. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, what you thought of 2019, if it was a successful year for games, if it wasn't, any controversial things that happened. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this list, enjoyed the countdown, enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. It helps out a lot. And ladies and gentlemen, also, if you haven't yet, be sure to like and follow my pages on social media. facebook.com/DanQ8000 for live streams and other content, Twitter @DanQ8000, Instagram @DanQ8000, and Snapchat DanQ8000. If you want to get yourself a shirt or hoodie, link in the description. You want to save 10% off your next DX Racer, link in the description. Be sure to use promo code DanQ8000 at checkout. All right, guys, thank you so much again. Take it easy, have a fantastic day. I'll be seeing you guys soon for more content, but until then, let's hand things over to Knox Hill. Have a good one, guys.
Who's the man with the plan? If you feel trouble, wild and wild on these violent and DanQ8000. Wait a minute, hold that style is dialed in. Goddamn Billy Jack, we still riding, tires flat. I hear them sirens, see shots flying, so we driving, fire back if they ain't vibing. Lie with that, got me dressed up in all black. What up? Hood up, and I see them haters try to run with us. They gon' need inhalers. Gotta breathe them hard just like Darth Vader. Players, grab your respirators. Night invaders get lightsabered. Mask on for the shooters, move like trash to bed. Intruder, got that Glock and got them woofers. Just press play, I'll keep it moving. Who is Knox Hill, you damn fools? Keep it fresh like canned food. There ain't nothing we can't do, so tune into that DanQ. Yeah. It was never, ever a game.